Okay. What is your name and job title?
Shane Hubert, and my job title is Environmental Health and Safety Manager at Jeffco.
Can you walk us through kind of like a day in your job?
Yeah, so the company, what we do is we make drilling rigs for oil and water well drilling. And so basically, we get a bare bones Peterbilt truck and manufacture everything from raw material, steel with lathes, saws, everything, and create all the parts for the drilling rig and get it set, and then we sell the trucks. So basically, we get an order from a customer, and then we build everything to what they're specifically needing. So my job, we have production meetings every morning. We go over basically what we're trying to do that day, what we're trying to get accomplished, and have everyone on the same page from production, quality, and safety, just to make sure that we're on track for whatever our goals are for the day. And so it starts there, and then from that meeting, I go into whether it's hazard assessment. I try to make it into every building, every part of the facility, every day, at some point throughout the day. And so we've got 300,000 square foot facility that's indoors, and then we've also got our yard that's got all of our outside equipment, extra raw material, and what. So assessing hazards. If a manager has any questions or anything specifically that they have questions on, then I'll go to that. For today, I was looking at safety equipment for our forklifts, getting a beam put out. It basically shoots a blue light out in front of the forklift to. It's basically just like a big warning light. That way, everyone can see and be more aware of what's going on around them and the equipment. So that's kind of just all things addressing safety as well as environmental, making sure that we've got our stormwater prevention plan, air quality, all kinds of different regulations that I've got to follow and make sure we're up to par on.
How would you define your management or leadership style?
I would say it's like a servant leader. Really, it's just I want people to know that I'm there for them. It's not just to meet codes and everything like that. Basically, my most important job is making sure that everyone goes home at the end of the day the same way they showed up. And so really, it comes down to building relationships, letting people see that you're there to work for them, and willing to do whatever it is that you expect out of them. So wearing safety glasses in the shop, wearing steel-toed boots, everything like that. We'll have people walk through. Our president and other people that stay on the designated walkways, that they're not in steel toes or anything like that. But, I stay to the same standard that all of our employees are when it comes to safety. So I would have to lead by example, as well as, building those relationships and talking with people and addressing anything that, if they have a concern, making it my concern too, and letting them know that I'm there for them.
How do you deal with conflict within the organization, whether or not it's between employees or an employee showing up late or safety?
Right.
Like, you probably don't deal with the people being late at being the safety guy, but say you walk on up to a guy and he's doing something wrong. How would you go about telling him that, hey, this is not safe?
Right. I think you kind of have to assess the situation. Really, is it a life or death situation? Is it a serious cause of injury, or is it really just something as small as like having a ladder in the wrong spot or something like that? You got to have them in the right designated areas and things like that. So assess the situation and the seriousness of it, and then really it comes back to relationships. So I had a person the other day operating a bandsaw with gloves on, and so we preach all the time, have the right gloves for the job, whether it's chemicals, having the rubber gloves that aren't going to have any moisture or liquid seep through, or impact resistant, whatever it is. And so they've got their regular like leather work gloves on, and he's operating this bandsaw. Well, in that situation, you're not supposed to have any gloves or loose clothing on, because that's something that could be taken into the machine, and then it could be a really bad situation. So really just asking, kind of what it is that they're doing right now, and why, understanding why it is that they're wearing the gloves. That was just a situation where the guy thought that he was doing the right thing and had never been told that you really shouldn't be. So that's something really easy. Explain it to him, and I don't think that would ever be a problem moving forward. It really comes down to, is it they just don't want to do it versus are they trained and able to do it?
Okay. What are some challenges being a young manager new to a job that come with managing your workforce, whether it's telling older people what to do, just people not respecting you? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I would say that probably the biggest challenge might be the, not wanting to, people not taking me seriously, or really the big issue coming into this job was there just wasn't that safety culture before, and so I'm really trying to lay groundwork for something that hasn't been in place as far as safety. Our three things at our company supposedly are safety, quality, and production. And obviously production is what gets everyone paid, and it's what gets all our income in. But without quality and safety, all three have to go together. If we're having injuries, it's really going to affect our costs. Workers' comp claims are second to labor when it comes to costs for a company, and then quality. Most of your customers are repeat customers, and so all three have to work together to accomplish the goal that we're really trying to get to. So I would say, as far as challenges just with the safety and establishing that culture, yeah, people may not take me seriously or whatnot coming out, but it has been really helpful. I'm not trying to come out as a authoritative figure or anything like that. Really, it's been learning the process. I may know safety and whatnot, but not necessarily drill rig production. And so I've got to learn that as well, and then help the people that are doing the job learn the safety aspects. And whether they've been doing the job for 30 years or not, it only takes once for a certain type of injury to happen, and they've seen plenty of injuries happen in the past, which is the reason I'm there now. So really letting them know that I'm there for them has been a good way to address that. And the right attitude has helped a lot with getting through to people. There definitely are challenges, but at the same time, it's been easier than I would have thought.
Would you say that establishing a culture could help create a better quality and of a product?
Yeah, definitely. As far as morale and anything else, it's just one more aspect of showing the labor force that they're cared for by management. And so we've got a lot of things in place for, you'll see some companies, they'll have these incentive programs where if no one gets injured for 6 months, they'll do a drawing and give away prizes or something like that. And really we try to do it, what we're trying to get in place is doing things on the front end, doing rewards on the front end, because really it's hard to influence, that doesn't have as much impact on, say, if we can get people to turn in, what we're doing now is, if you turn in hazard assessments where you say, I recognize this hazard and here's what I did to fix it, and then they turn that in, and then we're giving rewards on the front end. And there are so many statistics that show that has 4-to-1, 5-to-1 better impact on safety. It's what it's called is leading versus lagging indicators, and so your lagging indicators are like your recordable injuries and things like that, and your leading indicators are those hazard assessments, training hours, things like that. And so it's not an accident investigation and things like that as much as it is establishing, if you get it on the front end, if you get people to buy in, and then you've got a competent person and myself to be able to, work with the managers and recognize hazards, as well as the full production force. That's how you lay the groundwork for that.
And do you think, since you're going in there giving them rewards for bringing stuff to you, that they feel like you're working with them, not against them, and not just telling them what to do? And is that part of the reason that you're setting up a culture so easily at your...
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, there's always going to be people that aren't going to buy in. There's going to be, some people that they just don't want to see it done. But whenever they see that it's a we not me type situation, throw that cliche in there, it really helps. I mean, we have safety committees where we'll have a meeting once every other week, and this is our restrictions on it. There have to be more direct craft laborers than there are manager or any type of supervisor. So that gets them, I mean, they feel important. They're the ones with the say. And in reality, they know the job more than anyone else. So they understand if you come to them with, hey, I've got this idea on how to do it, and you have that approach. I mean, it really helps the buy-in. And I think that a lot of problems in the past is that I think that safety managers that have that struggle is they really want to say, I mean, you're going to do it this way because that's just how it's going to be, and you're not going to get that influence the right way. Because at the end of the day, it really is, all you're trying to do is influence people, and if you get that, then everything else doesn't matter.
All right, thanks.
No problem.